Hello, you're tuned into Coast to Coast Real Estate with Jaqueline Steib. This podcast will take us all across the globe as we learn the ins and outs of real estate from the industry's top advisors. Here we are now with Jaqueline Steib.
Welcome to Coast Real Estate, broadcasting simultaneously from Manhattan Beach, California, and the beautiful city of Miami, Florida. In today's episode, we will get to know our senior global real estate advisor, Joelle Oiknine. She is with Sothebys International Realty. Without further ado, allow me to introduce you to Joelle. Hi, how are you?
So happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
An honor, a pleasure having you here. Tell our listeners a little bit about you. Who are you?
Well, I grew up in Montreal. I was in high tech prior to being in real estate. And when I was young, I decided I wanted to see the world. And I lived in Jerusalem and in Sydney, Australia. And I ended up in Miami thinking that I'd be here for 6 months. And it's been almost 30 years.
What brought you to Miami?
Well, I had some family here and I came for a visit. And then I decided I had left Australia and I decided to look for a job. And the next thing I knew, I was in the computer games industry for 10 years. And that's how it started.
What's the thing you love the most about your city?
I don't know, where do I start? The beauty, the water, the bright light. Because I come from Montreal and half the year it's dark and it's always bright here. I remember when I used to travel in the games industry, I would get a plane and come home, and on the way in, I would see the bright, bright sunshine and the trees and the water. That's probably the most. You can be very A personality type and still get a lot of B just from being outdoors in the nature.
What's your favorite childhood memory?
Favorite childhood memory? I think it would be the family dinners. I come from a big family. We're 7 kids, and my mother used to make everything homemade, and we would get together during those big holiday dinners, and it was always just amazing to be as a family together. And we try to do that now whenever we can as well.
Family always makes things extra special.
Always. Always. Love them, hate them, but still love them.
They're family. That's part of family. They
Yes.
bring us a little bit of challenges so we could all grow. Okay, when you first decided that you were going to go into real estate, who was the first person who believed in you?
Father, all the way. My father. I actually started off in high tech more on the programming end. I wasn't programming, but I was managing people. I did program very early on. I was managing, and then I was offered a sales position, and my father pushed me to get into sales. And when I thought about doing real estate, he was behind me all the way. And what can I say? It was like a fish to water. I loved it as soon as I started. I didn't even realize how much I would love it.
How do you join the Sothebys family?
That's why I love it so much. That's part of it. It's what I love about my business is the clients. I love meeting new people. I love becoming friends with them. And I've become friends with many of them and their families. And I get invited to weddings and we meet for dinner when they come into town. But it's also the same feeling that you get with our Sothebys family. You make friends like you, good friends that you meet and you become, I don't know how to explain it. You just connect. And that's part of what I love about being with Sothebys and being in the industry is that we are a family.
Okay, I'm going to take you back to one of your buying days when you were showing a property and you walked into a home and there was this smell around the air. What was the smell that killed the deal?
Wow, I have to think about that. For me, it's more visual than smell. Can I talk about that?
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah.
So it was my first year in real estate, and I walked into one of the hottest buildings in South Beach, and I was showing a direct oceanfront unit. And normally you walk in and it's bright and white, and that's the whole point. You see the ocean, you see the blue. Well, this place was all black. Black walls, black doors, brown, black, gargoyles, black shades. The only time we got to see a little bit of anything is when we opened the shades and the blue ocean and the sun came in. It was all black. That killed the deal.
You definitely don't expect to see those colors so
No.
contrasting in such a setting. What is your favorite smell in a home?
Oh, coffee or chocolate chip cookies.
Ah, what's your favorite flavor of coffee?
Plain.
Plain coffee.
So all the way.
All right. How do you get a house ready for the market?
It depends on the house. Like a lot of what I sell is already looks really good and clean and modern. But sometimes you walk into a house or a condo and it's dated. And I immediately I have an eye. There was one unit that I got I immediately, the woman couldn't sell it. And she was with one of the top agents here in Miami. And she gave me the listing and I just cleaned it out. I had her move out 3/4 of her belongings and put it in storage, and we got it under contract. But the other thing I do is I hire a woman who stages a lot of these properties for me. So I have a good eye, but she has a really good eye, and she comes in, she'll tell you, what sheets to put on, if you need to paint, if you need to change some furniture, and I get it sold. It's great.
It's always good to have a team piggyback from each other and come up with an amazing product.
Absolutely. I totally rely on her. I've sold units where there were 5 or 6 competitor units on the market and mine got sold because of that.
Beautiful. Tell me, what was the most memorable transaction of your career so far?
Well, in my second or third year, I sold the biggest unit at the W in South Beach, which was in pre-construction. And actually, I never met the buyer, and he never saw the product until after it was built. He never saw the condo, and it was the biggest penthouse. But I think in a couple of weeks, I'm going to have a really, really big closing. It's going to be dollar-wise, it's going to be big. It's close to $9 million, but it's really the price per square foot. It's going to be a record-breaking price per square foot. It's my listing in Surfside at the Four Seasons. So let's see. I'm praying for that.
I got to take a look at your Instagram for some of those pictures. I know you have posted some of those beautiful, beautiful views.
Well,
so
I get inspired by those views.
You are the queen of beautiful views, that's for sure.
Oh, you're cute. You're cute.
In California, we don't normally use an attorney to help us with our escrows. Does your state require an attorney?
No, it doesn't require an attorney, but I advise all of my clients. Some people just get a title attorney to run the title. I advise all of my clients to hire an attorney. Even though we use pretty standard contracts, there are a lot of things in there that can be changed and that can affect. And I'm very good and I can cover most of it, but still it's very important to have an attorney handle the transaction.
We shy away from that. We don't like that here in California.
Really?
If an attorney is involved, chances are we're dealing with a probate or there's something wrong. Yeah. We have an escrow, we have title, and title runs title, make sure that everything is clean. But no, we don't normally have an attorney. In fact, we don't like when an attorney comes over and starts crossing things out of our contract.
It depends, right? I had a very, very high-end rental that I was doing last year, and the attorney started cutting things out of the lease before we even submitted it. And I told the tenant, if you do that, you're not going to get this lease. So he listened to me and we managed it. But for leases, sometimes you get it signed and you just put in that they have to have an attorney review. But for our closings in terms of sales, everybody has attorneys. It's very common for me to put my attorney or the buyer's attorney or the seller's attorney in touch with the other side's attorney. Always. That's how we do it. It's interesting.
See, you learned something different. We don't.
Interesting.
Tell me, what is the most valuable skill that a real estate advisor should have, or just a regular person? What do you think?
I think you have to listen to your client's needs first and foremost, and understand where they want to be or what they think they want, because ultimately I want to sell them something that they're going to say, wow, I love it. It's amazing. You have to want their best interest. You have to, sometimes you come into situations where you know that you're going to lose the deal, but you have to be honest. It's not the right deal. It's not the right, whatever. There are things that can, there's going to be a building coming up next door. It's going to block the view, things like that. And if people know that you're working on their behalf and their behalf only, and not only on your behalf, they will keep returning and they'll send their kids and it's very important for me for that. I'm just too straightforward sometimes, but it works.
Part of having your integrity and being honest with people, especially when they're buying a property because of you.
Right. For any reason. If you think that there's something that's going to, impact their purchase or their sale, I let them know. I mean, I've been working, whatever. I don't have to get into details, but yeah, it's very, very important to me.
Thank you so much for sharing a little bit about you and your real estate knowledge. I'm very thankful to have you here and have you as a part of the people that I can call anytime and just check in on you. How's Alaska?
She's great. She's really good. She's lovely. Sorry?
Why did you decide to name your dog Alaska?
I didn't. She came from the pound. I got her from the Humane Society, and they named her Alaska. So I thought, okay, you know what? In a couple of days, I'll change her name. But in a couple of days, she already knew her name. So, okay, that's that.
Okay, I thought you had a big story about how Alaska story. Came around. It's still a beautiful story.
I know.
Thank you so much for coming over.
Thank you, Jaqueline. Sending you a big hug your way. I look forward to seeing you in person at our next GNE event.
Looking forward to it. That's coming up next week. So don't forget to, at least our virtual one, and then we'll go. Hopefully next year we'll get to see each other in person at GNE. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you for listening to Coast to Coast Real Estate. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tune in next week where we will have another amazing agent sharing their knowledge with us. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.